right, the next UFO hearing in Congress has been announced along with the witnesses. So let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. Anna Paulina Luna announces hearing on transparency relating to UAP. All right, and here is the oversight website. Task Force on the Declassification of Federal Secrets, Chairwoman Anna Paulina Luna, today announced a hearing on restoring public trust through UAP transparency and whistleblower protection. Interesting that they're also including whistleblower protection as part of this. Clearly a very important part of this. And we might have a better hearing next time around if we can get better whistleblower protection. During the hearing, members will hear from witnesses on the continued concerns regarding disclosure of UAP and information held by federal agencies and will examine transparency issues surrounding the DoD and the intelligence community. Members will also analyze the work and effectiveness of DoD's congressionally mandated AARO. That'll be interesting. Hopefully they'll be just trash talking AARO the whole time. I hope so. That'll be funny. The American people deserve maximum transparency from the federal government on sightings, says Anna Paulina Luna, acquisitions and examinations of UAPs and whether they pose a potential threat to American safety. Whistleblowers who provide details on spending information and policies and procedures regarding the classification and declassification of UAPs should be able to do so without retribution. I look forward to hearing from witnesses on how the federal government can improve transparency and provide better answers on UAPs. So dedicated to transparency and whistleblower protection. I don't know if this is really going to move the ball very far in the things that I really want. Full disclosure, public oversight of the black programs that have been doing shady stuff for God knows how long. And, ultimately open interaction with the phenomenon. And a deeper understanding about metaphysical matters as well. Would be what I would want. This isn't going to get us there, but hey, it is going to make headlines. It is going to affect the public consciousness and the public opinion on UFOs. So it's going to move the ball a little bit there. Normies are going to see another hearing on UFOs and, with credible, not, insane people speaking to Congress under oath, and they're going to take notice. It's going to change a few minds. Not everybody's mind, but it's going to change a few minds. It's going to move the needle in that way. So that's important. All right, the meeting's going to be Tuesday, September 9th at the Capitol Visitor Center. The witnesses, Jeffrey Nusatelli, U.S. Air Force veteran. Now, Jeffrey is this gentleman right here, who is an interesting guy who not only saw a giant UFO, but also had a near-death experience, as related by this podcaster.
Experiences at the Vandenberg Air Force Base UFO encounter, where this huge red rectangular square-looking thing came in over the sea, hovered over the base, and came back at night. But it was during a conversation, sort of an off-camera conversation with him, and where I discovered that he'd had a near-death experience.
Now, I think that's really interesting. As I've talked about before, numerous occasions, nearly 1/3 of all alien abductees are near-death experiencers. People who have died, been out of body, some to the other side, and come back. Nearly 1/3 of all abductees are composed of that demographic, according to our best available information, the Edgar Mitchell Foundation. So what does that mean? I don't know, but it definitely means something. Now, as far as I know, Jeffrey is not an abductee, but an experiencer who is also a near-death experiencer, a UFO experiencer, if we can call him that, witness that is also a near-death experiencer. So I would love to see him talk about his near-death experience before Congress, but that's not going to happen. Another witness is Chief Alejandro Wiggins. Now you might recognize Wiggins. He's been making the rounds, doing podcasts, talking about his own experiences. And yeah, he saw 4 Tic Tacs coming out of the water. A really great, witness encounter. But again, he is simply a witness. He's not a participant of these crash retrieval programs or reverse engineering programs like we were promised. Third witness is George Knapp. And of course, we all know George, love George. Here's what he had to say about the hearing before it was announced that he was going to be on it.
It'll happen on the 9th.
We both know how UFO world operates. I think it seems doubtful that anyone in UFO world will be happy, no matter who is chosen to testify or what they might say. But I think that, they're always going to demand more. We want to know more, and we want to know it now. Understandable. But I think the hearing in itself is a really big deal. And the fact that members of Congress continue to push the ball down the field, trying to get to the bottom of the stories that we've all heard for years, that they've heard for years, about crash retrievals and reverse engineering and programs that largely escape oversight by Congress, carried out in ways that leave even Congress in the dark. So having a hearing to dig into cases, experiences, encounters, glimpses of secret programs or unknown technology are a big deal. And even if we don't have, an actual technician who's personally working on taking apart a flying saucer or who's managing the bodies or the biologics, if you want to call them that, the hearing itself is a big deal. Would you agree?
Well, I agree. I don't know if Jeremy agrees or not, but I agree. Now, speaking of technicians that have worked on UFOs, since that's what we were promised, and since George Knapp is intimately connected to Bob Lazar, could George be testifying on Bob? Maybe they won't bring Bob up personally, but if they did promise us information on UFO crash retrievals and reverse engineering, and George is the expert on Bob. So could that be what George is going to testify to? Obviously, George knows a lot. So, what specifically is he going to be talking about? Is it going to be a range of things? Are they going to drill down potentially on some of the recent UFO whistleblowers that have indeed worked with George and Jeremy, like Matthew Brown? Could that be what's under discussion? I'm very, very curious to see what George will have to say. Obviously, he himself is not a direct participant of these programs, but he has been around a long time. He has a lot of contacts, a lot of knowledge. So it'll be really interesting to see what he speaks to. The last witness is Dylan Borland, a UAP witness, U.S. Air Force veteran. I could not find much on Dylan. ChatGPT suggests public people finder aggregator entries suggest a Dylan Borland worked as a Air Force geospatial intelligence analyst, then in intel roles at defense contractors like BAE. That's interesting. And Intrepid Solutions. That's not an official resume, but it lines up with what's circulating on social media today. Yeah, BAE has been on my radar for a long time. The Marconi company. Marconi was working on a UFO back in the 30s, and I'm pretty sure his company had some interesting technology over the years, and that BAE has some interesting technology. I don't know if that's who this Dylan Borland is. We were told we were going to get somebody in the Air Force that had conducted an investigation into a series of UFO incidents. So perhaps that's who Dylan is. Other than that, I have not heard anything about Dylan. I look forward to hearing more about the giant red square, the red square UFO seen by Nusatelli. I know I'm butchering that name. I'm sorry, but Jeffrey, I can't wait to hear about that. I can't wait to hear more about this really interesting Tic Tac incident seen by Wiggins, and I'll look forward to hearing what Dylan has to bring to the table. Very curious about George Knapp and what he might be speaking to. Is he going to talk about Bob? If he is going to talk about Bob, why not just bring Bob? So, Interesting stuff. We'll see where it goes next Tuesday. I'm debating whether or not to cover it live, but let me know if you're encouraged by all of this, if you're discouraged by this, if this is just kind of, in my mind, is kind of a placeholder hearing until we get the next real hearing, maybe after greater whistleblower protections are put in place. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I do appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.